your boxes, and we're gonna go long box position for some abdominal work today. So it sits right in front of the shoulder rest, parallel to your carriage. Like I said, all springs on just to make sure that the carriage is stabilized. And then we're gonna start seated down at the end of the box here with your feet underneath that black strap. And we're not using it really at the beginning, but just have it there. We're gonna do some stuff where we extend off the back of the box. So it's just nice to have your body set up and ready for that. So as we set on the box, I want you to scoot forward so that the shins are touching the foot bar. Your feet are about a hip distance apart. We're just gonna start with some roll downs or some little C curves here. So your arms are gonna reach out. As you extend the arms out in front of you, elbows are soft and out to the side. We're gonna press down into your heels. Feel that tailbone slide under as we roll back. And as soon as you start to feel those feet get light, that's your cue to stop. And then we're just gonna stack the spine all the way back up. So let's go for 6 of those. Just exhaling as you roll. Inhale there, and exhale as we come back up. So just warming up that lower back, just starting some little flexion of that lumbar spine. Let's go for 3 more here. And lift. Last 2. And lift. One last one. Good. And then as we come all the way up, we're just going to keep the arms out in front of you, and you'll start to roll on that box or move on that box. Just kind of wiggle those hips back up to the front again if you start to move back. And now let's go into some rotation. So sitting up nice and tall, take that left hand and reach it back. Reach back, look back towards those fingertips, and then exhale, bring it back into center. Good. We're going to go for 1 more on each side. And really think about getting taller as we spiral that spine. And then as we come back to center, we're going to take it into a little hinge work. So now this time, instead of tucking that tailbone, we want to think about keeping the spine straight. So staying stacked on top of your sit bones. Spine is anchored as we inhale. We're hinging back. Same thing. Find that spot right before your heels lift. And then press down into those heels, rise up, get taller as you lift. Inhale back, and lift. We're not taking it to that last little point of control, just kind of warming up the body, getting everything moving. We're gonna start to build on this a little bit more. Let's go for 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Beautiful. All right, as we come back to center here, we're going to stay in that hinge motion to start. So this time, as we inhale, we're tipping back. As you exhale, those arms are going to raise up. So you're going to reach those fingertips in line with the spine. Everything lifts from there, and then the arms come down. So we want to play with that hinge. How far back can you go without losing that stabilization through the middle? And then reach the arms overhead. Find that line, try not to let your chest drop as you reach. Inhale, tip. Collarbones stay wide as those arms extend. And lift. We're going to go for 3 more here. Inhale, tip it back. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last 2. And one last one. Tip, reach, and lift, and lower. Good. Roll those shoulders out. And now from here, we're going to go back into that C curve. So now that we're a little warmer, maybe we can get a little more range of motion out of that. So as we exhale, we're going to roll back. Pause here. And now we're just going to do a little pull. So as you exhale, you're just going to come forward about 2 inches. And back. Lift. And back. 3. Try to keep those heels heavy. 4. 5. 6. Last 2. And 1. Bring it all the way back up. So now we're going to take it into a little oblique work. So same setup, press down into those heels, tuck your tailbone, C curve back. Turn to the right, and again, we're gonna pulse. You're reaching for 8, 7, 6. Try to keep heavy across the hips. We're focusing on just that little pulse of the obliques for 3, 2, 1. Untwist and lift. And one more time. Going back to the left this time. So we're C curving back. Rotate and reach for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Untwist and bring it all the way back up to center. All right, so from here, we're gonna start going back into some roll down. So just extending all the way back off of that box. So make sure you're at the front end of the box. Shins are touching the foot bar. You're gonna start to tuck that tailbone and roll back. So this time, let those shoulder blades rest at the edge of the box, and then take the arms all the way back. Arms come forward, head follows as we curl all the way up. Let's do that 5 more times. Exhale as you roll. Inhale to extend. Arms come forward, head follows as we exhale. Curl it up. Beautiful. Let's go for 4 more. Last 3. Good. 2. And one last one. All right, as we rise back up, we're just gonna reset our body. So I tend to kind of scoot back on those. So I'm gonna come forward again, bringing my shins so that they're touching the bar. And now this time I'm gonna release my right leg out and just extend it over the foot bar. I'm gonna lay back, and we're externally rotating that right leg. So the toes are pointed, leg reaches out, slightly turns out, arms are gonna go overhead. This time I'm gonna sweep my arms around, chin to the chest, and as I rise up, that right leg's gonna float with me. So we're gonna do 3 on each side with this one. Roll it back. Arms reach. This time they circle. Chin to the chest and lift. And roll it back. Reach. Open. And lift. Beautiful job, guys. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Take that right foot, bring it back underneath the strap. Left leg comes out. Same thing. Scoop forward, extend that left leg out. Roll it back. We're just hovering that leg over the bar, slightly externally rotating. Arms reach overhead. Circle around. And that leg floats with you as you lift. Reach. Circle. And up. We've got one more here. Beautiful. And come on up, take a little break. Okay, so our last one here, we're gonna work on some teasers with no resistance. So we're just gonna scoot towards the front end of the box, just a little bit more. You want about a hand space underneath your hips and the edge of the box. We'll lay back onto your back. So let's start with your legs in tabletop position. So knees are up, arms are reaching over your head. We're gonna do that same motion with the arms. The arms circle around. As I start to bring my hands towards my hips, my head's gonna lift. I wanna come up and balance on those hips. Inhale there. Exhale as you roll back. The knees come back in. Upper body extends back and you reach overhead. 2 more just like that. Circle around. Lift. Pause at the top. Inhale. Exhale and roll it back. One last one here, guys. Reach. Open the arms, circle around. And find that lift. Hold it. Give me 3, 2, 1. And release. Whew, good job, guys. Okay, so let's take it down to just a blue spring. And then we'll start to shift back on that box. So I'm going to scoot back towards the end of the box and then reach back and grab my straps. So I give you guys a second to get set up here. So as we scoot back, now my feet are going to go from the platform in the front to the carriage just outside of that box. I want to place myself so that my heels are right underneath my knees and I'm perched on top of those sit bones. Now if this starts to grab into your hip flexors, you can always let those legs drop off the side if that feels better for your hips. Otherwise, just make sure that you're in alignment, you're not way back here with your feet, so the heels should be underneath the knees. Now once we hold, I want your thumbs inside the straps and your palms are facing back, knuckles are facing forward. We're going to sit up nice and tall here, and as you exhale, arms rise up, knuckles reach right in line with the shoulders. Inhale as we bring it back. So we're going to progress through this movement. So just know it's not super heavy to start. That's intentional. 3, 4. Good. 5. Now on this one, we're going to pause at the top. Hold it there. This time we're going to open the arms. Bring it back to center. Arms come down. We've got 6 here. Reach. Open. Center. And down for 2. 3. We've got 3 more here. Last 2. And one last one. And bring it all the way back. All right, so from there, I'm going to flip my palms over. Hold on just a second. Let's see if I can get, it's a little cloudy in here. That looks any better. I feel like it's a little dark in here today. I don't know. Okay, so palms are going to flip over. And this time my palms are facing out towards the front. Fingertips are reaching forward, so I just want to keep my palms open, the elbows slightly softened. And we're just going to go into a little arm circle here. So you're reaching out, fingertips in line with the shoulders, arms circle around and back to the hips. Reach. And circle for 2. 3. 4. Good. We've got 2 more in this direction. Last one. And from there, we're going to reverse. So hands start at the hips. The arms are circling around and forward. Inhale as we pull back. 2. 3. Beautiful job, guys. We've got 3 more here. 3. 2. Last one. And bring it all the way back. All right, so from here, we want to think about hinging at the waist. So keeping the spine straight, we're just bringing the chest forward a little bit. So feel those sit bones reach back, chest leans forward between the legs, and then we're going to bring the arms up over your head, fingertips reach to the ceiling, and I'm kind of making this little diamond shape with my hands. So my fingertips, my pointer finger and my thumb are touching. I'm staying in that little lean. And I'm just going to start by bending my elbows. So my hands are going to go wide. Hands come over the shoulders. Exhale, press back out to straight arms. Now as I'm working here, I want to really focus on that length down through the tip of my tailbone. The ribs are softening back. Crown of the head is reaching up. Inhale as we bend. Exhale as you reach. We've got 3 more. 3. Last 2. Last one. Hold it. Close your hands around the straps This time the hands stay together. We're gonna let those hands go behind the head. Exhale as we press up to straight arms. So going into a little tricep work. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, last 3, 2. On that last one, reach, lift the chest, and now reach into those straps. Just let them carry your arms around and back, down to your hips, and just do a couple shoulder rolls here. And then from there, we're gonna let your feet drop off the side of the box. Bring your hands to the front of the box, and then you'll just lower down, bringing your chest off the front of the box, your legs extend behind you. If that doesn't work for you, get down there however it works for your body. Okay, and then once you're set up, we're down on your belly. We want to just take a second there, anchor your hands on the frames in front of you, and we just want to kind of shift side to side. And what we want to feel is that we're opening up the front of the thighs, engaging the hamstrings, engaging the glutes, and really lengthening out through the tips of the toes. Belly staying lifted, so it's like you're drawing your navel away from the box. And that's going to protect your lower back and keep it from feeling like you're compressing in that lower back. Elbows are bent and palms are facing towards each other. Now in this first movement, we want to keep the back of the neck long as we inhale, reach straight out in line with the body. And then as we exhale, reach into the straps, let those arms circle around and back. Elbows bend, reach, circle for 2, reach, 3, 4, good. We've got 2 more here. Opening up those collarbones, reaching into those straps as the arms circle around and back. Last one. And as we finish up with that last one, just let those straps drop, reach out, place your hands on the foot bar. And then we'll let the carriage come in all the way, reach down and add a yellow spring. So we've got 1 yellow, 1 blue. Still staying active in those legs, toes are reaching back. This time as we place our hands on the foot bar, elbows turn out, thumbs point at each other, and we're just keeping that gaze right over the top of the foot bar. And then as you exhale, we'll press. Inhale as the elbows go wide. Crown of the head reaches out. Back of the neck is lengthening as we pull forward. So again, this is not a really heavy movement. This is more about developing that relationship between the arms and the body. So keeping the shoulder blades anchored down as you push the arms overhead, feel that work all the way down the back. It's not just about the shoulders, it's not just about the arms, it's how are we connecting those arms to your core, to your back. Last 3. Last 2. On that last one, press and hold it. Thumbs come up on the same side as your fingers, keeping your arms straight, press down on that bar and lift into an extension. Range of motion's up to you here. You don't have to go all the way in. Just find what feels good for your body. 3. 4. Good, we've got 4 more here. Last 3. 2. And 1, last one. Lift. And then as we press it out, let the elbows bend, let the carriage come in all the way. We're gonna reach down, take that yellow spring off, climb off of your box. And then from there, we're gonna come stand down at the end of your reformer. So just to open up that lower back, we're gonna let our thighs touch the foot bar, hinge forward, place your hands at the edge of the box, and we're just gonna push that box away from you. Letting your chest drop down, letting your head come down between your arms. So really feeling that sense of length from the tip of the tailbone all the way out through the crown of the head. As we exhale, we're gonna scoop that belly, tuck your tailbone, and curl back in. As we inhale, press. Exhale, curl. Good, let's go for 2 more here. Last one. Beautiful. All right, as we rise up, let's just roll those shoulders out. We're gonna go back to our straps. Let's go and grab those straps, place them back on the bars here. Then we're gonna go into a little bit of seated work. Still working the upper body. Today's a little bit of a arm and shoulder heavy workout. We'll get some hip work in there too. But I want to just make sure that our upper back is really warm before we go into that heavy extension work. So as we set up here, I want you to sit kind of again towards the back end of the box facing the opposite direction this time. So I've got a little bit more than a hand space behind my hips. I still want to think about my heels dropping down below my knees, really just focusing on that alignment. And then as I grab my straps, I want to go ahead and crisscross those straps. So I've got my hands inside the short loops, straps are crossed, and I'm just going to start with a gentle press back. So arms are straight, and it's almost like a V. So I'm pushing back and wide as I push back into those straps. Give me a little pause there, and then release the arms forward. We want to make sure that we're staying long through the tip of the tailbone. Rib to hip connection stays there. So we're not allowing those ribs to pop forward, not popping that chest up. 3. Four. Beautiful. We got 3 more here. Last 3. Last 2. And one last one. All right. So now from there, we're going to allow the arms to come forward. Let the arms rise up so they're in line with the shoulders. We're going to bring those elbows back. And as we hold here, let's focus on keeping those elbows anchored next to your ribs. Knuckles are reaching forward, so we're trying not to let those wrists fold back as we pull the palms apart, opening up the chest. Inhale as the arms come forward. Exhale as we externally rotate, opening up the chest and connecting with the upper back. Good, we've got 4 more here. Last 3. 2. And 1. All right, so from there, we're going to add an extension to that motion. So we're doing another set of 6. Same movement, so we want to keep the elbows close to the ribs. We're going to pull the palms out, pause right there. Now reach out, extending the arms. Keep the palms facing forward as we let those elbows come back in next to the ribs, and then the palms come back together. We're going to do that 5 more times. Pull it apart, reach wide, bring it in, and release. 4 more. Pull, reach, bring it in, release. Last 3. Last 2. And one last one. Pull, extend, bring it in, and release. All right, so let's go ahead and let go of those straps. We'll place them back on the bars, and then we're climbing up into a tabletop position. So this time we're going on your hands and knees. Hands are over the front edge of the box. The knees are back underneath your hips. So we're just going to start with a little balance work. So just going into a little bird dog here. We're going to take that left leg and extend it straight back. Try to keep your hips squared up. And then that right arm is going to reach forward, and we'll hold it for 3, 2, 1, release. Switch sides. Right leg reaches, left arm reaches, and hold. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, so we're going to go foot into the strap. If we get into this movement and it feels like too much to have your foot inside the strap, you can always just do the motions without any resistance. You're still going to get plenty of work without having any spring load on that leg. Otherwise, we're going to start with our right foot inside the long loop. So if you grab your strap right at the top of the loop here, it's easy to just pull it back and then kind of fish your toes through there, bringing it onto your foot closer to your heel. Now, as we set up here, we want to make sure that my hands are in the front of the box, heels of the hands are resting on that box, my shoulders are stacked over my hands, and then I want to make sure that my knees are back so that I'm not too tight in this way. I want to make sure that my knees are underneath my hips. As I look down from right to left, I'm going to just scoot that left leg in towards the center of the box just a little bit more. Start to scoot my right knee over to the right. Now this first motion, we're just going to do a little extension here. So as we exhale, we're pressing out into that right heel, bringing it in line with the body. Inhale as that knee draws back in. Exhale and press. As we're reaching, we want to think about engaging the abdominals, keeping that low back protected by drawing that navel back in towards the spine as that hip extends. We've got 4 more here. Keep that spine steady as we work. Last 3, 2. On this next one, we're going to press it back and hold it. Pause for 3, 2, 1, and then drop that leg off the side of the box. So the toes are reaching towards the floor. Now the tendency here is to shift over to the left with that hip. So our goal is to keep that hip stacked over the knee as close as possible. Keeping that leg straight as we exhale, that right leg is going to sweep back. Inhale it forward. Keeping that leg out through the tip of the tailbone, even as that leg draws down towards the floor. Good. We've got 3 more here. Exhale, press for 3, 2. On that last one, reach, hold it. Give me 3, 2, 1. Bring it forward. Slip that foot out of the strap. Good. And then just take a second there. Open up your knees and just sit back towards your heels and just stretch out those hips. Stretch out that lower back. Good. As we rise up, let's come up onto your hips for just a second. Reach those arms overhead. Reach over, grab the elbow with your right hand and just kind of pull across the body. It's a lot of shoulder stabilization happening there. So make sure we're ready for round 2. As we come back up into that tabletop position, just kind of work on your setup here. Making sure that that right knee is back and slightly shifted towards the left. And then as we pull that loop back, slide your foot into the long loop, bringing it closer to the heel. All right. We want to think about keeping that length from the crown of the head through the tip of the tailbone. Belly's nice and tight. We're going to start with that press. As we exhale, reach. Inhale, brings it in. Press. And in. 3, 4, 5. We've got 3 more here. Last 3, 2. On 1, pause, hold it. Give me 3, 2, 1. Let it come down to the floor. As it comes down, again, keep that length out through the tip of the tailbone. We don't want to let the spine round. We want to make sure that we're keeping that stabilized spine, that length out. As we exhale, that left leg is going to sweep straight back. Inhale it forward. As that leg reaches back, draw that belly button in. Keep reaching out through the crown of the head. Pause in that extended position. We've got 4 more. 3, 2, 1, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Whew. And release that. We'll take that strap off of the foot and then bring it on down. Good job, guys. Let's go ahead and stand. We're going to face towards the box and go into a little hip stretch here. So we'll start by bringing that right leg across the box. And so we want to bring that knee and foot as close to alignment as we can. So trying not to let that heel come in towards the body, but try to get that lower part of the leg straight across the box. And then from there you can start to hinge over that leg. Now you can stay on your hands. If you want to, you can go down onto your elbows if that's available to you. Just kind of what feels good for the body here. Just a little static hip stretch here. Good. All right, let's come on up and out of that. We'll take that leg down and switch to the other side. So let's bring that lower leg across the box. Same thing here. We want to start by hinging over that leg. And you can either just place the heels of the hands on the box, or you can come down onto your elbows if that's available. Very nice, guys. All right, and now let's rise up. Take that leg down. This is, we're going to bring our box down to the end of your reformer. And we want to keep a little space between the end of the reformer and your box. We're going to change our spring weight to 2 red springs. We'll take that blue one off. And then we're starting here with a little push-pull series. So we want to find a spot, we want to find our setup to where when you're sitting on top of that box, you're perched on top of those sit bones, the spine is straight, and as you reach out, your arms are fully extended to place your hands on the foot bar. And we're starting with a little push-pull here. So as I inhale, I want to pull against the bar, bringing my chest towards the bar and taking my spine into some extension. And then as I exhale, I want to open the palms, push against the bar, and round my back. Really finding that C curve, finding that width across my shoulders. Inhale as the hands wrap, I'm pulling. Exhale and press. Beautiful, let's go for 3 more here. Last 2. Last one. All right, as we come up, we'll go into a little side bending work here. So we're turning and facing towards your left first. So as we turn and face towards the left, I want to reach out and keep my right hand anchored on the bar. And again, it's kind of finding that spot to where I can sit up nice and tall. I want to have my hand right in line with my shoulder. And we're just going to start with a little side bend. So I'm leaning into the bar, bringing my left arm up and over. And then as I come back up, I'm going to hold on to that bar, let my left arm drop down. My head's going to tip towards my shoulders. And just take that little pause. Then I'm going to start to pull towards the bar. Left arm reaches up and over. And then come up. Hang from that bar. Let my head tip over. Good. Last 3. Last 2. Good. On this next one, as we go over, we're going to kind of hold there for a bit. As we come back down and we go into that hanging position, I just want you to hold right there. So I'm really letting the weight of my head drop down towards my left shoulder. I want to feel that big stretch from the top of my right shoulder all the way up through the side of my neck and up towards, kind of like back behind my ear. My left arm is just hanging heavy. And then from there, we're just going to take the gaze down to that left hand, rotating your head. The chin just kind of drops towards the shoulder. And then we're releasing back to center. Head stays heavy. So just kind of feeling the way that that stretch works all the way across the back of the neck, down towards the spine as we let the head rotate. Let's go for one more here. And then as we come back to center, we're going to pull back towards the right, bring that left arm up and over. Now this time, we're just going to take that left arm, sweep it down in front of the feet, around. And this time as we hold, we just want to look back towards those fingertips. And then pull and reach up and over. And then take it around and reach. One more time, up and over, and then sweep that arm around. A little pause, and reach. Beautiful. All right, so let's turn back to center. And we're gonna go back into that little push-pull, but we're gonna do the opposite with each hand. So this will make sense as we start to explain it. So I want you to wrap your right hand around the bar, and then your left palm is open. So I'm pushing into the bar with my left hand. I'm pulling with my right hand as I go back into that C curve. And then as I go into extension, I'm going to switch my hand. So my left hand wraps, my right hand pushes as I extend and look towards the ceiling. So there's this little kind of double movement going on here. I'm going to exhale, C curve, wrap my right hand, push with my left, inhale and switch. One more time. Inhale and switch. And now on that inhale, I'm going to switch my hand. So I'm going to wrap my right hand, open my left hand, take it back into that C curve. So now I'm pushing with my left, pulling with my right, and then I'm going to switch. Last two. Last one. Beautiful job, guys. All right, so from there, we're going to turn and face towards the right. So you'll have my back to you. Same setup as before. We want to reach out and make sure that that hand is in line with the body. As we start to lean in towards the left, that right arm will come up and sweep over. And then as I come up, I'm going to bring that right hand down, holding on with my left. I'm just hanging from the bar. Again, finding that big stretch from the top of that left shoulder all the way up through the side of the neck. And then pull, reach, lift, and hang. Beautiful. Let's go two more here. And as we come down on this one, this is where we're going to hold. Feel that left shoulder wrap back, head's dropping towards the right shoulder. That right arm is hanging heavy. And then we're just going to slowly rotate the chin towards the right shoulder. And then release that rotation, looking forward. Good. And turn. Look towards the right hand. And release. Two more. And release. last one. And look forward. Now this time, as we start to bring that right arm up, we pull ourselves towards the bar, and then this time that right hand sweeps around the front of the feet, and as we pause, we just want to hang and look back towards those fingertips. And reach. And sweep the arm around. And hang. One more time, reach. And big extension, reach it back. And release that. Okay, so we're gonna take our foot bars down a notch. So you wanna unlock the bar, so you pull up so it's free. Lay it down so it's not all the way flat, it's just that next notch down. So it's at a slight angle. So you gotta pull up and unlock it. Yeah, and then it lays at just a slight angle, so it's not all the way flat, it's just leaning down a little bit. So we've got the 2 red springs on, our foot bar is set up here. Now we're gonna turn our back to that foot bar. And we're gonna find this spot where, as we lay back, we wanna position ourselves so that that foot bar is right. You know what? I think we do wanna go down a notch. Haven't done these in a while. Let's take it down another notch. Now I'm trying to remember how I did these. Shit. Hold, please. Yeah, okay, so there we are. We're at the bar low. So we want to find a spot where that bar is resting right underneath the shoulder blades. And as we set up here, the hips are down on the mat, on the box. The feet are flat, heels should be right underneath your knees. And as we inhale, we're gonna extend back over that bar. And then as you exhale, we're coming up into this little crunch. You wanna press into your heels, scoop that low belly as you lift. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale as we lift. Keep the head heavy in your hands. Focusing on just using those abdominals to curl up, anchoring down through the heels. We're gonna go for 3 more here. Last 2. Last 1. All right, so from there, this is where we're gonna let our head go back. So this is the point where I said, if this isn't comfortable for you, you can place a rolled up towel behind your head. If you have a Pilates ball, you can place that there. Whatever feels the most comfortable and allows you to let your upper body extend back. Now, once you're there, we're gonna reach up and place the hands right at the edge of the carriage. Now, as we're holding here, we don't wanna let those elbows fall wide. We wanna think of the fingertips pointing towards the ground and those elbows coming up. So there's like an imaginary wire from the inside of my elbows pulling them towards each other. Now, once I'm there, I'm gonna find this little bridge position. So we're just gonna tuck the tailbone, roll the hips up. Now, holding that bridge, pressing down on the heels, keeping that belly tight, we're gonna push that carriage away. So as you exhale, the arms extend. Inhale as the elbows bend. Remember, those elbows stay pointing towards the ceiling as that carriage comes back in for 2. Reach and lower for 3. 4. 5. Beautiful, guys. We've got 2 more here. And on this next one, I want you to push to straight arms and hold it there. Now from there, we're gonna let your hips lower as far as you can while keeping those arms extended. Keep pressing up against that carriage and then lift. Hips lower and lift. 2. 3. 4. Good job, guys. Last 2. Last 1. As we bring those hips up, allow the elbows to bend. Carriage comes in. the hips lower. Hands come back behind your head. Support your head as you peel back up. Maybe reach up and grab your legs. And just take it into a little forward fold. Hug those knees. Good job. We're going to go into a little abdominal work here in between our extensions. So we're going to go back into that same spot where the shoulders are resting against the bar. This time we're going to float the knees up. So as the knees come up, feet are in line with the knees, hands are going to go behind the head. And we're going to start with a little bicycle. So right leg reaches, left knee tucks in, elbow to knee, and switch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. We got 2 more here. Last 2. And 1. Bring those knees in. Give them a little hug. And then from there, we're going to let those feet come back down. We're going to go to another set of those back extensions. So we're laying back one more time, letting the back of the head rest on the carriage or on that towel. Hands are going back up against the carriage. Now, if your back feels like you can go into those extensions, those arm extensions, without lifting your hips, you feel free to stay there, or you can keep your hips down. If you feel like you still need that little bit of a lift, go ahead and press your hips up and stabilize there. I'm going to keep my hips down just because it feels good here. And we're going to go for 6 presses here. Exhale, reach. Inhale, let it bend. A little pause in that extended position. We're not rushing the movement. Good. 5. We got last one here. Beautiful. As we come back in with that last one, if your hips are up, go ahead and let them come down. Hands are going to go back behind the head again. And then we're going to float those knees up one more time. Rock those hips just a little bit. Extend your legs as straight as you can. We're going to keep the elbows wide as we do a little lower. And lift. Keep that C curve. Stay looking towards your feet, towards your legs. 3, 4, 5. Good. We've got 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring those knees in. Rock yourself up. We're going to come on up to standing, and as we stand up, go ahead and just push that box back against your carriage. Bring your foot bar back up to its original setting. And then we're just going to stand facing towards that box. Now I want to bring my toes so that they're touching the back of the box. My feet are a little bit wider than my hips. And then I'll fold forward and grab that foot bar. So as you grab your foot bar, start to pull your hips back. Let your body weight just hang from that bar. Your hips are reaching towards the windows. If you feel tight in those hamstrings, you can soften those knees a little bit. Feel that sense of length out through the tip of the tailbone. Shoulders rise up around your ears. 2 more deep breaths here. Beautiful. Now from there, we're going to bend your right knee, push your left hip back. Maybe look underneath that left arm. And then switch sides. Right knee bends, or right knee extends, left knee bends. Same thing, take that gaze underneath the right arm. Beautiful. And now as we come back to center, we're going to bend both of your knees. So think about pressing the knees out wide, heels stay heavy as we draw those sit bones down towards your heels. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. So we've got this nice deep squat. Good. Gaze is back towards the wall. And then from there, drop that gaze down to the floor. Press into your heels, extend your legs. Shoulders rise up around those ears as we let our body weight hang. We're going to do that 2 more times. Bend your knees. Draw those sit bones down to your heels. Roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. And then drop that gaze down, extend your legs. Good, last two. Good. And one last one. As we draw it down into that squat, we're gonna pause here. Release that left arm. Twist and look back towards those fingertips. And then back to center. Anchor that left hand down, right hand reaches. And then bring it back into center. And then from there, drop that gaze down to the floor. Press into your heels, extend your legs. And now we're gonna scoop that belly. Tuck your tailbone and start to bring your hips towards the bar. Your heels can rise up as we press down onto that foot bar. Take it into a little extension. Hold that for 3, 2, 1. And that is it today, guys. Good job. The lighting is better now. It was a little dark for a minute there, but it's good.